Published within the collection The 4 Million in 1906, after 20 years serves as a quintessential illustration of O. Henry's storytelling style. The narrative delves into themes of identity and transformation, the interplay between perception and reality, and the essence of loyalty. The story's hallmark twist ending ensures that each reading offers a fresh experience. The tale commences with an unnamed police officer striding confidently through the deserted nighttime streets of a chilly, blustery, and damp New York City. Although he exudes an air of authority while diligently securing the locks on every door, it's not for mere display. This part of the city remains devoid of bustling nightlife, with scarce pedestrians and most businesses having shuttered hours ago. During his patrol, the police officer spots a man standing in the shadows of a doorway. This man bears a distinctive little white scar near his right eyebrow and sports a scarf pin adorned with a large diamond in tandem with an elegant, jeweled timepiece. As the police officer approaches, the man explains that he awaits a friend with whom he made a solemn pact 2 decades prior. They had agreed to rendezvous at Big Joe Brady's restaurant precisely at 10 p.m. on this very date. The police officer informs him that the restaurant ceased operations 5 years ago, prompting the man to offer an explanation for their rendezvous. He proceeds to recount a poignant tale of a profound, fraternal friendship with Jimmy Wells, a companion he had grown up with in the heart of New York City. Jimmy had been his best chum, and the finest chap in the world. Their last supper together transpired exactly 2 decades ago, as the man embarked on a journey to seek his fortune out west, while Jimmy remained steadfast in New York City, as if, according to the man's assessment, it were the only place on earth. Their pact was to reunite precisely 20 years later, each to evaluate what they had achieved in life. The police officer raises the point that 2 decades is quite a lengthy interval for a meeting and inquires whether the friends stayed in touch over the years. The man responds by disclosing that they corresponded for only the initial year or so before the constant relocations out west disrupted their communication. Despite the prolonged silence, the man exhibits unwavering confidence in Jimmy's punctuality, emphasizing his trust that Jimmy is as true as any man in the world and that he has journeyed 1,000 miles to honor their pact. Observing the man's lavish attire, the police officer remarks on his apparent success in life, prompting the man to confirm his accomplishments. He recounts the challenges he faced, having to engage in intellectual battles with some of the sharpest wits during his pursuit of fortune. He contends that people in New York City tend to become entrenched in a routine and struggle to achieve greatness, leading him to speculate that Jimmy may have succumbed to a similar fate. At this juncture, the police officer conveys his well wishes for a successful reunion and bids the man good night, resuming his patrol. Meanwhile, the man remains steadfast in his vigil, despite the worsening cold and rain. A tall figure draped in a long coat approaches the man with purpose, inquiring if he is Bob. The man enthusiastically affirms his identity and inquires if this towering stranger is Jimmy Wells, the friend he has eagerly awaited. The tall man expresses confidence in Bob's arrival, but laments the absence of the restaurant where they could have dined once more. They exchange updates, with Bob sharing that the West has granted him all his desires, while the tall man reveals that he now works for the city and has experienced some growth in stature since their last meeting. They decide to stroll together to a location chosen by the tall man for an extended conversation. However, as they reach a better lit area, Bob finally gets a clear view of the tall man's face. Instantly, he discerns that the man before him is not Jimmy Wells, as the passage of 20 years would not have transformed the size and shape of his nose. The tall man remarks that 2 decades can transform a good man into a bad one and discloses to Bob that he is under arrest, as the Chicago police had alerted their New York counterparts about Bob, a wanted criminal known as Silky Bob, being in the city. Before escorting Bob away, the tall man mentions that he has been instructed to deliver a note from a police officer named Wells. The story concludes as Bob reads the note. Bob, I was at the place on time. I saw the face of the man wanted by Chicago police officers. I didn't want to arrest you myself. So I went and got another police officer and sent him to do the job. Jimmy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.